3, 2, 1. Welcome to another episode of Harvest Now Conversations. Woo! We are back, and we've got Gerard back on the podcast.
Wow.
Yay.
Yeah. And a familiar face, Christene.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
All right. So, what's new with you guys?
Oh, we're married now.
We're married now.
Only the knuckles because my fingernails are gross.
Oh, yeah, mine are pretty long as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are recording in their house.
Yeah.
In our house.
Renting. But
Renting.
still our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Right.
First podcast married. First podcast in this house.
That's
A
right.
lot of firsts.
Yeah. Yeah. How is married life?
It's really good, bro. 10 out of 10. Recommend.
It's fun.
Yeah.
We've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
Granted, we got married in May and it's August, so it hasn't been too long, but it's been really good.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the main difference?
The main difference is we wake up next to each other every morning now.
It's so nice. But it wasn't hard. Transition.
Yeah.
We've been together for a while, so
Yeah, like we've heard people say like, oh, the transition's so hard, this and that, but it's pretty smooth for us.
yeah.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. All right. So this episode, we're going to be talking about your guys' relationship and how it all started and how it progressed and how it's going. So how did you guys meet?
Church.
Yeah, we just met
When
at
was that?
church.
2014 we met, I think. That's when I first started going to church.
Yeah.
I didn't like her in that way back then. It was just like, because it
What
was
was your first impression?
like, well, she's cool. And I don't get nervous around people, but something about her, bro.
Even the first impression?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's, we went to that festival in, was it Toowoomba?
Easterfest.
Easterfest.
Yep.
Easterfest.
And then I really wanted to be friends with her. And then...
So embarrassing.
And then I saw she was wearing New Balances like me. Do you remember this?
No.
You don't?
No. I don't remember the shoes.
I was like, oh, nice shoes. And then she's like, oh, thank you. And then we put our feet together. And that was
Yeah.
it. That was it
I
for a
remember
while.
I was like, thanks. And then I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
did you hear that crack? Ignore that. I went like that. And then you're like, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that's how
And
it
you
started.
were soul bonded
And then I was
since then.
yeah. I was like, oh, she's the one. No.
I see.
And then just went into a friendship. And then I just noticed, I was like, I can't stop thinking about her. So,
Wow.
Oh.
yeah.
Right.
All right. Hey.
And then
Yeah.
from your perspective, when did you notice him at Easterfest or before?
Probably at Easterfest. At church, I didn't really take notice of him, to be honest, because he was with his whole family. So, and I didn't really pay attention to boys. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what was your first impression of him?
He was so friendly, so sweet. Yeah,
Handsome.
so handsome, so
So
cute.
funny.
No, but he was very friendly, and I at the time, just like with guys in general, I didn't have like a lot of guy friends. So, and he just was so genuine from the first moment that we met, and it was just so funny and nice. Yeah.
How long were you guys friends until?
Oh, it was pretty quick, bro.
No, it wasn't long. Yeah.
It was like, I think we were friends for a few months, and then I was like, I like you.
And yeah, we literally were like, oh, I think I like you. And then I was like, oh, I like you too.
I was like,
And
"Oh,
then we high-fived.
did we?
We did high-five. And then we went back inside.
No, we didn't. We
Yeah.
hugged.
No, okay.
I gave you a side hug.
Hug and then high-five.
Probably.
And then we were like, okay, what now?
Well,
Then
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah. So then, tell me more about how you transitioned from friends to.
Yeah,
What is
so a few months after that, I told her I loved her. And,
Well,
What? Hold on a second. We're transitioning
oh,
from
transition,
friends
sorry. Spoiler.
to... yeah.
We're married.
From
Spoiler.
friends to what? Girlfriend?
Girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah.
so do you consider like once you tell each other you like each other, you're already there?
No.
Nah.
Okay. So
This is funny.
So you're friends for 2 months, and then you tell each other you like each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're seeing each other, and then I told her I love her, and then that's, well, for me, I was like, okay, well, now we're a girlfriend boyfriend because that's what girlfriend boyfriend do. I was stupid because I didn't ask her.
He never. That's what left me confused because he never officially
For
asked
every
me.
single person that doesn't ask, like, you're an idiot.
But also, like, that's what I don't know.
How long?
Because
Bro, you gotta ask. Sorry.
wait, it was like because if you don't know, he's my first and only.
One and done,
Man.
baby.
Yeah, one and done. So I didn't know how relationships work, but I assumed that once you say you like each other, you're seeing each other, and then you make it official by asking me out.
And I did it in
which
the worst
he
way.
Did not.
I did it in the worst way.
Yeah, but
I
then
do-
like it was just
Hey,
in
keep your mouth
messages.
shut. You're behind the cameras, not on the mic, bro.
he was in message. He was messaging me, and then he just casually mentioned that.
We're
We
like
were going
boyfriend,
through
girlfriend or something.
we were going through a fake scenario.
Oh, this
And
is
then
so
I'll-
like vulnerable. We're telling the
He was
world.
like- he
This is
was-
so embarrassing, dude.
He was like,
keep in mind, I was like 17, and the
Hey,
frontal
okay,
part of my
wait.
brain. I
I know it was a very
prefrontal
long
cortex.
time ago.
Yep.
But then we were going through a fake scenario, like what would you do if? And then he was like, "Oh, I would just say blah blah blah, my girlfriend, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Girlfriend, so I'm your girlfriend." And then, I just brought it up with him in real life, and then, and then he was like, "Yeah, you're my girlfriend." I was like, "Oh, okay." You never asked me. I never brought up the fact that he didn't ask me out, but then we were talking to one of our little kids, Bo, from youth. We used to
Shout out, Bo.
shout out Bo. We used to lead the youth together, the little kids.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, the thing about girls just came up, and then I was like, you have to make sure
Yeah.
you ask them out, otherwise you're just confusing them.
Yeah.
And-
Speaking from
But
experience.
anyway,
And
so
what's the timeline, do you reckon?
Between liking each other and asking him out.
Yeah. Or is that just you feel it?
That's a good question. I feel like
I feel
it's different for everyone, but at the same time, don't lead them on. Because I've heard back from people, they've asked for like relationship advice and like, oh, I've always asked to get, like, what are we, this, that, and they're like 6 months in. I'm like, bro, 6 months is too long. Like, sure, you'd know by now. Like, what are you afraid of? Could be in a pansy.
I don't know. I feel like timelines are different for everyone.
Yeah, but I think if you're a Christian, like you have to make those. You got to be intentional. You can't just go all willy nilly. Like, oh, maybe this will work, maybe this won't. Like, work it out. I think maybe I would say maybe 6 months has to be the max. I think.
I think 6 months is a good
Yeah.
time
That's half a year, dude. Half a year.
before you know
Yeah.
that you're serious. Then yeah.
But also, like,
I don't know. People
past
go
relationships
through,
might-
Yeah, people go through different things, and then
Yeah.
it takes them a while.
yeah, like they might be scared
open
or
up.
yeah, other stuff might be happening. So I guess it's different for everyone, but I guess from what I think, 6 months is too long. Like just go for it.
For me, 6 months was good. I think that's good.
See. Right. How did you guys know that you were compatible for each other? Did you think about that around that time?
It's bothering me. Sorry.
How did we know we were compatible with each other? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
He
just
was
like it just
really
happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
He was really nice for me. I was raised in church, and like we've always been brought up on purity. So, I took dating and marriage very seriously.
Yeah.
So for me, like I would, if I ever brought up, I was never focusing on guys or dating, anything like that. But if it did come up, I would just ask God that, he be Christian and that he love you more than me. That was my whole
That's a
thing
good
from the
standard.
start. Because I just really want to, but I wasn't searching for one. Yeah, so I just thought that when you know, you know. Yeah. He came along and he was so friendly from the start. And I will say, like, when we first met, I looked at him. We were at a party, and then I looked at him and then I asked God and I was like, this one? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, cool.
What?
Yeah. No.
You never told me this.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Probably a while ago.
Surely you assume you're married now.
Yeah.
It's just nice to know again.
Yeah. But then there would be times where maybe I would find someone cute or something like that. And then I would like quickly check in with God and be like, this one? And he'd be like, nah. And then,
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was your experience with like making sure that she's the one?
Prayer. Lots of prayer. I wasn't raised in a Christian household. I was raised Catholic, but like non-practicing. But from the get-go, like from even being in primary school, high school, it was always told to me like, oh, it's fun being a player and stuff, blah, 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 this, that. I was like, it never attracted me. So I was set on like, well, what's the point of dating if they're not going to be my wife? So even in high school, I was like already dating to find my wife, which was crazy to think about because I'm like, what, 14, bro? Anyway,
So
but I've always
early.
had that mindset because it's like, what's the point of fooling around? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because you like form a connection with someone and then especially outside of church, if you're not Christian, I don't understand like hookup culture because it's so...
Yeah.
I feel
Like knowing the spiritual aspect of
ties,
that
soul
stuff.
ties.
Yeah, exactly. Soul
Yeah.
ties. It's just not worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Because it's like in the long run, it damages you rather than you. And it becomes like this thing where you can start thinking like, oh, sex equals love. And because we have sex, they love me. Like it's just not a healthy mindset. But yeah, anyway, that's big.
What about like on the flip side when, like, what are your thoughts on when people say, like especially in your situation, Christine, how he's the only only guy you've been in a relationship with, when people are like, you know, you don't know what's out there. You got to test everything, shop around,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Try before you buy.
try before you buy. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Even in the church.
Even in the church.
What?
Who said that?
What?
I'll expose them in the
Next
Patreon.
podcast.
No, I'm joking.
Patreon.
No, we don't have a Patreon.
Yeah, I think a big part of that was making sure that I involved God. Because going back to like me taking it very seriously, I just didn't feel like I thought that dating with intention, so like dating with the intention to marry. Like I'm not gonna waste someone's time.
Yeah, like what's the end goal?
Yeah,
If
what is
you-
the end goal if not to
marry? Yeah. Like you're just going to be boyfriend, girlfriend forever?
Yeah.
That's stupid, bro. People
Okay,
like,
okay.
sorry. First time on the podcast
In a
in a
while.
while, so I got to tame my tongue. But like people who say, why should we put a label on it? That's anti-Christ. I think the world has this different view of marriage and it's like this, it's not this pure thing. It's just like a thing to do. But when you involve God and the purity side of marriage, it's just this amazing thing that God has created and the world cannot replicate. And for people to say, why should we put a label on it? They're just, well, it's ignorant. It's ignorant to think that way.
I think there's also commitment issues.
Exactly. So people saying try before you buy, commitment issues, and you know what's like if you have something good, why would you upgrade it? You know what I mean? Like if I have the best of the best, why would I
Hey,
go for?
that's me.
Yeah. If I have the best of the best, what's the point of shopping around? You know what I mean? Like, if I have a PS5 and I love a PS5, why would I go get an Xbox? You know? Like, what's the point? So, yeah, you don't need to try before you buy. That's a worldly thing.
I think I don't want to say devil's advocate, but like to try in an attempt to empathize with the other side, they're probably thinking because like not every relationship is not
different.
perfect.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
And so there's going to be moments where it's like, where it sucks.
Yeah,
And
of
then
course.
they're probably thinking, oh, it's probably better with someone else. Maybe they're not the right person. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, if we put that in the context of marriage, that's polluted, yeah? Like if if me and Christine are fighting and then I go to, I don't know, someone at work or some other girl at church, like, oh, you know, so-and-so treats me so much better than Christine. I feel like I'm heard by them. I feel like I'm seen by them and, you know, maybe I should pursue them. That's adultery now.
What
You know,
about before marriage?
before marriage? Well, it's like in the dating context, okay, you can not shop around, but like if you don't have the same core values or like say you're, you know, God's called you to be a missionary and they're called to be a pastor, like that'll clash, right? Because they're supposed to stay in one place and you're called to the mission field. So you might even be right for each other, but it's like in terms of where God is leading you, like it just might not work. But also if God is like, it'll work out, then yeah.
I think it's really important to as well. I don't know. I feel like if you're going around and you're dating a bunch of people and you're constantly finding problems with that person, I also think it's a good time to reflect.
Yeah, like what if the
on-
problem's you?
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you should be in like a season of singleness, and maybe you're focusing too much on the fact that you're trying to find someone and it's not God. Like you're too focused on finding the one,
Yeah.
and that can be really dangerous because like you're searching for something
It becomes
that's
an
right
idol.
in front of you. Yeah, and if you're not including God in this whole thing, oh my gosh,
gotta
it's
mess
just
up.
like it's just a bunch of wasted time,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna be like crying to God, but like, why does this keep happening to me? Why can't I find Him?
Yeah, and I think before marriage and you're trying to find your wife, like I guess you'll know, and like we have God, like surely He'll be like, oh yeah, that's the one, you know, and it's a matter of going through the motions, and you know, if you're a woman, I'm a big believer in man pursuing the woman, and I think that's. Personally, I think that's a holy thing as well, and I feel like that's what God has put in men to pursue, and making yourself available and as a woman, I think that's really good as well, and knowing what you like, knowing what you don't like, knowing what you want,
Being secure in
in God,
yourself. In God,
and
sorry.
and yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before you even consider like dating,
Yeah.
like having a good relationship, having a good foundation,
yeah, like
because all the insecurity is just gonna come up real
Yeah.
quick.
for sure.
It's not gonna last.
How do you be secure?
That's a great question. In God, and even in our relationship, we found insecurities as we were going through the motions in our time together. It's a matter of refining. So you go through the refiner's fine, and all the impurities come up. And even now, like in the leadership where I'm finding insecurities in myself. So being secure in God, like that is number one. Mm-hmm. And you can always ask God, am I ready to start dating? Am I ready to get married? And then if God says no, then it's like, okay, well, we'll do it your way.
Yeah. For me, it was before I started dating. It's on this guy, but before I even thought about it, I always I didn't want to ever get to that point where if me and my partner were to break up, like I would just be distraught. I wanted to know that I had a strong enough relationship with God where if we broke it up, I'd be okay. I'd be
Yes.
sad, but I have God, so I'm okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
he's
is so
not
important.
like the man does not complete me.
Mm.
He adds joy to my life, but he's not the missing piece.
Yeah, I cannot satisfy her 100%. Only
Yeah.
God can. And that's a humbling thing. So, That is so good. Wow.
Yeah, that's a highlight right there.
Put that on a reel.
Timestamp that. But yeah. So have you guys heard of like anxious attachments?
I don't know. Explain, please.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, I've only recently
All right.
learned about it.
Since you got your degree. No.
So, I'm not an expert. Okay.
Right.
But like one of them is anxious attachment, where they are like constantly wanting reassurance from their significant other, and one of their weaknesses is that they are constantly thinking that like if their text is a bit dry, they think they no longer love.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what an anxious attachment is.
And then there's another one called avoidant attachment, where as soon as the other person, the significant other, starts to get close and intimate, they get afraid, and then they break it off or they distance themselves.
Interesting.
And then there's a whole bunch of like subcategories, and then there's secure attachment, where
That's a good one?
that's the good one.
That's a good one. That's us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did you have any of those issues in your relationship? Like you were constantly wanting reassurance from each other, blah, blah, blah. Or if things get
100%.
too close, you're afraid of intimacy, stuff like that.
I don't think I was the avoidant attachment. I was more anxious because of what happened before. Context, not cheated on, but emotional cheating. So they were talking to someone behind my back. And so that sort of like, I started seeing the patterns in like a switch in pattern. I was like, oh, they're being a little bit dry. So if Christine was like mad at me or something, I was like, oh, she hates me. She doesn't want to be with me anymore. Yeah, it's so stupid. But it's like, that's what was going through my mind. I was like, oh, how do I fix this? Should I just break it off now? Oh no, she hates me. Like, we're done. That's it. There goes that relationship. On to the next. So it's like, oh man. But yeah, I think that was my one.
What's the avoidant one?
Avoidant one, they fear intimacy for the fear of being abandoned. So like they don't want to let anyone get close, because if they get close, then they're vulnerable for being really hurt.
No.
So like at
She's
the
just so
outset-
secure in God.
Okay.
I would say, I don't know. I think I needed a lot of reassurance at first, because mentally, when we met as well.
Oh, dude.
When we met, it was pretty fresh with his mum.
Yeah, my mum passed away.
Yeah, it was very fresh actually.
Super.
And then for me, it was my brother. But that was like 2 years after that, I think. And then, so mentally, I wouldn't say that I was in the best state.
Neither of us were.
Yeah. But, but I think I needed a lot of reassurance from him to know that he was, I don't know, that he liked me for some reason. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
So I guess we were both the anxious attachment. Is that right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
I don't know.
You're the
I think
expert,
we
mate.
need to research it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that comes and goes.
Would you guys say you're secure now?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
as
What
a
was-
very...
Were there any like big moments or aha moments where you're like, okay, I need to fix this, and that's what led to you being secure?
There was.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it, but we had a big fight. And I think it's because we were like relying on each other too much. And like both of us started getting cold towards each other, and I just brought it. I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I don't know who said it first. It might have been you, who were like, I think I love you more than I love God right now.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I think I do as well.
Yeah.
And then so we went on like not a break. Like we were still talking to each other, but like
Yeah. But
we would see each other every day.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
he would visit me every day, basically, and I think I just got used to that, like spending so much time together, that like if he didn't come, then it was a problem, and then I would be cold to him if he didn't come. Yeah. So then I think at that point I started sensing that it was getting really dangerous,
Yeah.
and then we were just being cold to each other, and then we had like a chat in the car, because then we always know like something's wrong, and then
the vibes, like
the
you can
vibes
feel
are
it.
off.
The vibes are not
off.
live, dude.
So then we had like a chat in the car. Yeah, and then bringing back to what I said before, like if I was scared that I loved him way too much, like I was putting him up on a pedestal, and that God wasn't my first love anymore. And then I brought that up, and I was like, maybe we should take a break, or I don't know, we need some time away
Yeah.
from each other so we can get back on track.
So we started seeing each other less. I would be at home a lot more. I'd be, pursuing God a lot more. And then now we're married, bro. It worked out.
Right.
So,
So in that period, can you talk about the emotions there? I imagine it would have been hard.
it was tense, man. Like it felt like we were on the brink of breaking up. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh man, like I remember crying on my way home. I was like, oh man, we're done. It's finished. And then like it's a 30-minute drive, bro. So all I'm doing is just thinking about it. And then
How long were you guys together at this point?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It might have been like 5 years in,
Yeah,
5 or 6.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened, but it was, what I appreciate is that we fleshed it out and talked about it, and we didn't just, cut it off.
That's one thing that Gerard changed about me, or is still changing. I'm still working on it. But like my first instinct when we have like an argument or something is I shut down and I put walls up and I will not talk. I will not talk. I will sit there for hours and hours and not say a thing. But from the start, he is a very big communicator. So he will not shut up. He will not stop asking me what's wrong until I say something, and he will not leave me until until I say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think,
And you appreciated that.
I appreciate that. I needed that. I needed someone to
it
do
must
that
have
for
annoyed
me.
you at first. Though.
Oh, to be honest, still kind of does. But like, it's definitely needed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of memes where like he's asked you a million times what's wrong, but he stopped, and then you thought if he asked you one more time, you were going to say something. That was me. He would do that so many times. It'd be like, on the next one, I'll say it. And then he'll say, what's wrong? And I'll be like, nothing.
Ask me 6 more times.
Yeah. And then, by the next one, I'll just be like, I just think it's funny that. Yeah, but. I just don't. Yeah.
No. And it's hard being on the other end and asking because
you make it look really easy because you do it so many times.
nah, it's because it's like I just need to get this out of her so we can flesh this thing out. Like I don't. One of the first things I learned being Christian was not letting the sun go down on your anger, and I literally put that into like I literally did it.
Oh my god!
Like I would not leave.
We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I think we tried to, but I think we realized it's not literal. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, it's not. Like we've got it to the point where it's like, okay, well, sun's already down.
I'm tired and we're tired.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like when you get tired,
You say stupid
the sun
stuff.
is down. It's too late. But you get really sleepy. And then when you get sleepy, you can't think properly. And then I know we've had arguments where my eyes are closing, but I think we realize it's just better sometimes to sleep on it so you can think more clearer and you don't hurt anyone's feelings.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to have those because we've gotten to that point. But like, if I did that early on in our relationship, that would have been almost disastrous, because it's like it would have implanted all these different thoughts in it. But like now we've reached to the point of maturity where it's like, okay, well, we're both really tired. We don't want to say something we don't like. We don't want to say something stupid and hurt each other. So it's like, it's better off if we rest and we'll flesh it out in the morning. And we've done that a few times as well. Yeah. What was the question?
Yeah, back to the emotions to do with that break.
Yeah.
That was hard.
It was tough, man.
Because we were like, what we thought or what we feared was true. And we were depending on each other, especially me. I feel like I depended on him so much. He would drive me everywhere. We would FaceTime each other all the time. If he wasn't at my house, then I was on the phone with him. Like, and all of a sudden we weren't talking as much.
We were still talking.
But it was just like, it was an addiction.
Yeah.
Where I needed my fix. Like, I needed love.
I need him.
Yeah, I need him. But then, yeah, it was so hard. But then.
But it was so needed.
Yeah, it was a big wake up call, I think.
Yeah.
How long was it until things started to change?
We put it at a month just to see what would happen. And then by the month, it was like,
I think I'm good.
we're good.
Yeah.
And then we slowly like started seeing each other more and more. And then and I feel like if that it has come up again, and we've just we've communicated it across, and it's like, okay, I'm feeling the same sort of way. It's like, all right, let's put in some boundaries. So yeah. But it's the second time it happened wasn't like, oh, we're done, we're breaking up. I'm like, no, I'm spending my life with you. Like, there's no way I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah,
Like,
that
we just
was never, for me anyway, breaking up was never a part of it.
Right.
Yeah. But he always thought like, oh.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah, whenever we have an argument or something, and he's like, are we breaking up? Like, should we break up? And then, yeah. I was just like, what are you talking about? This is an argument. It's not like be all.
Because it felt like I felt so scared, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, we're done. This is it.
I know.
We're gone. 5 years down the drain. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really tense. Like the thought of just like throwing everything away, like, was just like so gut wrenching. I don't think words can really explain it. But if you've been there, and you understand. So,
Would you say then, like, why did you continue? Was it just that knowing that you're going to marry this woman?
Yeah. I was very intentional from the get-go. So it's like, I guess what kept me going was obviously God. And then when I'd speak with her, it's like, it just sort of secured it. It was like, yeah, this is whole life together. This is the one. So, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice of you.
Thanks.
All right. So another question I wanted to ask or get your thoughts on was love languages. So do you incorporate love languages in your relationship?
Yeah, 100%.
I
Like,
think
we did
that
the
was a
test.
Yeah. We took the test, yes.
The test. It was for free back then.
At the time.
At the time. Now you got to pay for it.
Yeah,
Unlucky.
frick.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely tried to incorporate it.
My one is acts of service.
Yeah, so I'll go out of my way to just, have stuff ready for her. Like, I'll make the bed, I'll wash the dishes, I'll hang the clothes, like, just do what I can to serve. And one revelation I got when I first got married, I was like, God, how do I be the husband you've called me to be? And then he brought me to the scripture. I think it's in Ephesians, where it says, "Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church." So it's like, so how does Jesus love me? What does he do for me? He loves me in a way where I feel seen. He loves me in a way where I feel like he's got it. Jesus took the humble position of a servant. So I was like, okay. So I serve my wife, not as a slave, but because I want to. And, you know, sometimes it's like, oh, I really can't be bothered doing this, but it's my joy to serve her. So, and I know how happy she'll be if I do it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Take notes.
Yeah.
Take notes,
Yeah.
husbands. We've been married since May. We've
the
been married for
experts.
3 months, so we know what we're talking.
We know what we're talking
The
about.
gurus.
We've been married for
Yeah.
2 months.
We're OGs. We're OGs. No.
But relationship for like 10 years now.
No, it'll be 9 years,
9 years.
in October.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 next year.
There you go.
10 next year. First year married next year as well. That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, love languages, big time. Yeah, so highly recommend doing the test. If you have to pay for it, well,
Yeah, it's $3 now.
$3
$3?
in this economy.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
30.
30?
30?
Oh.
For the whole thing.
Oh, there you go. There you
No,
go.
no,
Out
no.
for
But is it
right.
worth it for love?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, can't put a price on love, man. Can't put a price on love.
Yeah. And what's your love language?
Mine is, was it,
isn't it accident service?
what was the second one? Acts of service and
Quality time?
quality time. Quality time was my one. So
What are they again?
quality time, acts of service,
Touch,
touch,
gifts.
gifts, words of affirmation.
That's
Is
it,
it 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if we communicate this early on in a relationship, but like when we're out, I don't like if we're just on our phones because I don't feel like that's quality time. And if I'm talking, it's like I want you to be listening to me, just being sort of present. Yeah. So being intentional in that quality time, I think, yeah, top 2, quality time, acts of service. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's mine.
Nice.
Is
All
yours
right.
quality time as well?
I think mine was acts of service, probably quality time, and words of affirmation.
Yeah. Words of affirmation. Of mine
Top
as well.
3?
Top 3. We're just like opposites. What's yours?
Mine?
Shouts out single ladies.
Time, touch.
Touch.
Hey.
What's...
Hang?
I think last was acts of service.
Really?
I don't want people to help me.
Really?
Leave me alone.
Is your
I'll
third
do
one
it for you. And then
gifts?
gifts is second last. And then words is third, I think.
Oh, quality time. What's the second one?
Touch.
Touch.
But who cares about me? It's about you guys this episode.
We care
Yeah,
about
come
you,
on.
bro. Come on. You know who cares about you? Your
God.
future wife. And
Oh.
God. And God. Yeah. And God will provide your future wife.
Yes. All right. So last question for this episode. What has been the most important part of keeping this relationship healthy?
God first and communicate. And because we're married now, if we're buying something big, like it has to be a joint decision. Like we can't just go out and be like,
Yeah. Oh, ever since getting married,
Yeah.
you share your monies.
yeah, we share our money, so we know where the money's going.
Yeah. We have our own account, and then we have a joint account.
Yeah. So anything big, we're like, oh, should we get this? And we're like, sometimes it's like yes. Sometimes
Oh
it's
my
no.
gosh, I have to say, I really miss just getting what I want.
Yeah.
But we got bills to pay.
We
now.
got bills to pay now. It's different. So, but yeah, I think God first. Communicate with your spouse, with your partner. Pray, obviously. Pray for them. Pray for them like you would pray for yourself. Yeah, what would you say?
Pretty much the same. I also, for me, what is really important, and that I have told them, is that we keep romance
Yes. I got to relearn romance, bro.
Relearn romance. Romance.
Relearn romance.
Relearn
Yeah.
romance.
How do you do that?
It's just like, cause
You should
I
have seen
used
what I
to-
did for her birthday, bro.
So cute, so cute. Just making the other feel special
Yeah.
and not stopping because you're married now and not
Yeah.
feeling like one of my fears was like once we get married, like he'll
I'll stop
stop.
trying.
Like the feeling of him pursuing me stops.
Right.
And it's just because like he doesn't have to do all that because we're in it for life now. But yeah, I made that clear from the start, and he's still been very, very sweet.
Yeah.
He's been sweeter. He's gotten sweeter every year.
Like a
Wine.
fine wine, baby.
Yeah. Does it get sweeter?
I don't
Does
know.
wine
I
get
don't even
sweeter?
like wine.
Yeah, but he's been very nice.
Yeah, I think she taught me the value of romance.
Top
Because like,
quality.
I grew up seeing my parents, like not go on dates and not,
Yeah.
not do anything romantic, never go out like just by themselves. Like I didn't grow up that way. I just saw them come home, they watch TV, sometimes on their own TV in the room, in the living room. They and I never saw that. Like I only saw like them do that and then fight and then it's all good and then they go to work, pay the bills, this, that, go out for Macca's with the family, but I never saw the romance side. So Christine had to teach me how to do that. Like I was terrible.
Teach you how?
I think she literally told me what she wanted. I was like,
Okay.
oh, this is so
Yeah,
helpful.
that's what I had to learn too. Is something that like he's not gonna know unless I tell him.
I had zero clue.
Yeah, and I just like you watch. I love movies, and I used to watch so many rom-coms, but it's like it kind of created a unrealistic standard. So I was just waiting for him to do something romantic when he doesn't know what I like yet.
Yep.
So yeah, I just had to tell him like it would be really sweet if you did something like this for me, or like.
And listen.
And listen,
Listen.
just to know that he's been listening to me and he's been getting to know me. Like, sometimes it's not just me saying what I want outright, but like he's been listening to me and be like, "Oh, this is really cute," and then like it'll come up another day, or yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
That's been really sweet. But also, I think it's very important, not just romance, but being very secure in your relationship with God. That was really
Yeah.
important
Yeah.
because when sometimes I don't feel like I am in the best place with God, and him being so secure, like him being
It's only the
opposite.
surface. It's only the surface. Sometimes I'm not secure.
No, yeah, but like it's so good to have him here because when he's not very pushy, and he's never gonna be the one to be like, "Why aren't you reading your Bible?" or "Why aren't you doing this?" Which is, it used to be my fear with him because he's a leader at church. So then I felt very inadequate compared to him because maybe I'm not as versed as him with the Bible, or like I'm not very as outgoing as he is. Like he's an evangelist, and I talking to people is a lot for me. So
She's great at one-on-ones, though. I'll give you that one.
I do like one-on-ones. I'm more the type of person who will take you out to dinner and we can talk there. But
What's that one? Fivefold Ministry.
It's probably like pastoring.
No.
Pastor
That's not me. That's not me. That's not my calling, I don't think.
Pastoral.
Yes.
Pastoral. But to have someone to support you when you're in those kind of moments where you're really insecure in that part. And he's just been so sweet. Not gonna cry. He's been so sweet. He's never been pushy. He's never
Really?
condemned me or anything. Like pushy when you need to be, I think, but never in the way that it pushes me away from wanting a relationship with God. Yeah. So having someone like that is really important.
Pushing each other towards
Pushing
God.
each other.
Iron
Yeah.
sharpens iron. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask, when you told him what you like, did it
Bro.
make it make you value it less? Like,
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I thought would happen. Because then when we were talking about it, I actually cried because I was like, I don't want to have to tell you what I want, because then it just feels like you're doing it because I asked you to do it and not because you want to do it out of your heart. But when he did it for me, cried instantly. It meant so much. It meant so much to me because one, he listened to me, and then it showed that he really cared what I wanted, like, and he made the effort to do it. Because sometimes they just need help. They just
real.
need help to know.
I don't think men are born with the romantic trait.
Oh, it's such a common
learnt.
thing.
It's learnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like the idea of a date for me was just going out to eat. Because that's what I saw my parents do. You know, so I was like, oh, well, I guess this is romantic.
And that can be a date.
Can be a date.
It can be a date, but that's not the only date.
It's not the only thing we can do. You know?
It's not. Yeah. I told them that I just really wanted romance.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
And romance you'll get, baby.
Okay. All right.
So, security with God.
Yep.
What else?
Um,
Romance,
Romance,
communication,
communication, pray.
and pray.
And not in that order.
Not
but
in
like,
that order.
Just like
What is the
any,
number one?
any three.
What's the number one?
Number one is God.
God. So security with God.
Security with God.
Okay. And then the other ones are just also good.
Also, like, they're tied for second place, all of them.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Do you have anything final to say to those that are needing advice?
I don't know what you want to know. Put it in the comments
Yeah.
down below.
Oh, yeah,
Ask
put it in the
us.
comments.
Ask us, and we'll...
Should we do that?
Hmm?
Ask, like, you can send in. Do people send?
Yeah. Yeah,
questions?
sometimes, like, I got, like, 3.
Oh, let's amp that up. Let's
Interesting.
get everyone to ask.
Yeah. All right, yeah, ask.
How can they do that?
You can ask by sending us an email. You can send us a DM on Instagram. Yeah, just any way you can contact us, I'll be there. I'm the guy. So.
Is there a way to do it anonymously?
No.
Dang.
Sorry. It's
Nope.
okay.
You gotta expose yourself.
But I won't expose you, I promise. So there you go. You can ask me. And then we'll make it anonymous when we talk about it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's pretty much it.
Thanks so much.
Cool. All right, see you next time.
If I said something bad, just ignore it.